Here's kind of our schematic, and you'll see ARD 2, 3, 4. This is actually our Arduino board, and on the Arduino board there are 4 kind of segments. So I went 1, 2, 3, 4, just like the copter motors. Kind of try and standardize things. Copter motors are laid out, motor 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is also how we're going to look at the heliplane when we build it. To get positioning, we'll have our USB down. This makes all the numbers upside down, but it fits easier to work on the plane like that. So now we're just using Arduino wire. Anything that plugs into the Uno is going to be a male pin, and we're hooking up to a servo here, so we're going to be using male pins also. So first thing we do is grab a ribbon, strip off our yellow, red, black, male to male, pop off those little single plastic housings, and then I bought these less than 10 bucks, 2 little kits. It has all the pins from 1 or 2 to 7, I think, so that there'd be 7 of them. So I grabbed a 3, pinned those wires in there, and so we'll look at ARD4. I took that signal, that yellow, 1 to 11, right, into a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the red and the black from there into another 4 into those legs. Now here on the other side, our VN, this is actually, what is this, JST plug, the plug that goes to a battery like that. And with our kit again, the kit also comes with pins in there. So we need to get a crimper. This is a 2.54 millimeter pin crimp, whatever. And we actually crimped this. You can buy this in a package of 5 or something, 5 of these, but it's bare wire. So we're going to crimp some male pins onto this. And the insulation on this is a little bit thicker than the Arduino. And it kind of has a little bit of a hard time fitting into this plug. So I kind of crimped around it and shrunk it up, and then I believe I had to push it in with a jeweler's screwdriver or something. I don't know, pick or something. And so that's that. Now to the fun part, this section here. So this is what's plugging into our smartphone. We got a phono plug, and out of the phono plug we have 2 visible wires, those 2. Now inside those wires are 2 more little wires, and they're just copper strands, but one of them is dyed with a color on each side. So there's 2 bare copper ones, those are our grounds, and then there's 2 that are dyed in each of these. Alright, so we're going to solder, and first, well, solder the 2 grounds together, and then you want to take, now this doesn't matter which way it plugs in, so you'll see both legs are blue. So on our first colored wire, one of those, soldered 2 blues to it. Alright, make sure you get your heat shrink in there. When you solder onto a colored, you can melt through the color and solder, it'll just solder to the copper underneath it. That's an insulation. And so 2 of the ends go directly to ARD2, and the other 2 go to 2 resistors. Now I have myself orange brown, that's 330 ohm. I'm sure you might be able to use up to 1K, I don't know. I use 330, it works. So then you tie those 2 resistors together. So you tied these 2 grounds together, and then you tie those together into the ground of ARD4, which has our yellow that goes to servo.
So we have our phono plug, splits into the two, and then each one of those splits into two, right? And so the signal leg right there is going into one of the resistors and then going in the ARD2. And so the same on the other one. And then the two copper grounds in there, you pin them together, and then you're pinning that with the resistors together to run into the ARD4.
Last quick overview of the transmitter harness here. So we had our JST power plug, and we crimped 2 male pins on it. Went into this 4 for ARD3, that's the adrenal plug. So then we had 2 power wires that came out and go down into our servo with our yellow signal going into ARD4, this 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the ground out into the phono setup, and with the 2 blue wires going back up into ARD2 on the adrenal. So adrenals 2, 3, 4, our servo, power, phono,